Well,
All right.
hello, welcome back.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to another SLL Season 6 broadcast. We're going to be bringing you WSG versus Frostbite. Um, and without further ado, we are going to jump right back into the picks and bans. As always, I'm Von Beast Mode, my cohort Turtle Chi. We will be casting for you today. Umoja ban comes out first here for
Yeah,
WSG.
Yamaja's always a good first band.
Yeah, Umoja's healing and the space control with that all it's just very very strong. Ratatusker coming out
Yeah.
from Frostbite as a ban here, the taking away some of that kind of global pressure that Ratatusker provides in the jungle.
hmm
An Apollo
Getting
ban
rid of
here from
Apollo.
WSG, yeah, as well. I mean, Apollo kind of rose to a little more prominence, with seeing Johnny on it in a at the higher levels of play, and a bunch of other people have kind of been following suit, playing the Apollo more.
All
The
right,
set coming
forgive me if
out as
I'm wrong,
well.
because I am blind. Let's see,
That is a
who's that?
set.
That's a set. Okay.
Yes, 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 yes. The set
All
being
right.
banned from Frostbite, and the Persephone ban coming out from WSG. Persephone, has a lot of team fight presence, with that ult, as well as just tons of damage late game. And Frostbite deciding to ban out that Cupid as well. Now this is interesting because this leaves open a lot of really big kind of meta picks right now. I mean, you have Cthulhu open, you have Raw open, and
Tsukiyomi.
and of course you see the Cthulhu pick. Cthulhu Raw. I mean, Tsukiyomi's still open. And the Raw comes out from from Frostbite as well. I mean, Guan Yu is also open. Ram is open. I mean,
Rom.
this is going to be a game of just really big hitters.
Yeah, I wonder what compelled them to do so. It seemed like the big names they banned out was just Yamoja.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I don't know.
Bots.
It's interesting though. Hunbot's coming over to the side of WSG here.
We are the
Also
Morg.
picking up the Morgan here, which is going to be interesting. I mean, whether you're dealing with two Hunbots ults or two Cthulhu ults, I mean, it is not going to be a super great time for uh,
no, it's just terrifying. Looks like they're gonna lock in the Odin here
yeah,
solo.
yeah, Odin coming out as well.
Try to see. I want to see how that's gonna go in the solo lane.
Yeah,
So they're gonna go ahead and ban out the
uh,
Hui here,
a Hui
Frostbite
ban.
against WSG.
Mhm, mhm, The
It's
Kepri
really
ban comes out as well.
mm-hmm.
From WSG. I mean, I don't know. I always think Kepri's a pretty solid ban. I think he's been pretty decent lately. And just being able to bring back a teammate who's died, and get them back into the fight is kind of crazy, to have as an ability.
Yeah, yeah.
The Ymir
Actually,
ban, the Dodgy ban.
now these are very interesting bans. I wonder if these were bans against like the player specifically.
Yeah, I was just kind of wondering the same thing. It seems like some of them make sense, and then others it's just a little curious.
Sobek.
Sobek
hmm
coming out here from Frostbite. I think Sobek is just such a strong character, man. Being able to kind of displace people, with that pluck, and then just create the space to kind of give the team a chance to blow them up. Jing Wei comes out though, which is a decent counter to the Sobek.
Yeah,
Gunner.
he just dashes away.
Yeah, yeah. And Ganesh
hmm
coming out as well to kind of round out WSG's team comp here.
Achilles.
Then we have an Achilles as the final pick for Frostbite here. I'm kind of interested in whether it's going to be the Odin or the Achilles, kind of in the jungle now.
hmm Well, we'll see what's gonna happen. Just kind of it looks like WSG has an incredibly strong team comp going against Frostbite here, along with the Cthulhu, the Humbats, and the
Yeah,
Morgan.
yeah.
Um, I want to see like the pressure. They should have enough pressure in duo lane. I want to see what that's going to carry out later on in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
With Rama having the immense clear, and then with the pressure that Selbek just innately provides. I just want to see how that's going to translate over to the other lanes.
Yeah, very true.
And so, like, if I were to like pick like a winning team here, I like just by looking at picks and bans, it just goes like straight to WSG, just because of
Okay, yeah.
the Cthulhu and the Morgan. But then again, I had like false presumptions. The first game we casted, a while back, and it was just it was like it doesn't mean just because you can have these powerful gods doesn't mean you can execute them very well. So let's just see how this is going to play out. What do you think?
Uh, yeah, I'm kind of on the opposite side of the fence here. I'm thinking Frostbite might have a better go at this. I think a lot of WSG's performance is going to kind of stem from how well they do utilizing this Cthulhu in team fights and this Morgan in the team fights. And I mean Morgan is a very strong god, but she's hard to play to the max potential. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it is going to kind of hinge on who she chooses to ult into during team fights and how well she, does, when she decides to do that. And in the meantime, in the meanwhile, I think the Frostbite just kind of has a very straightforward team. That doesn't really require like too much behind the scenes planning. Raj is super strong right now. Sobek's super strong right now. Ram is very strong right now, and I think that I'm pretty sure they probably picked up the Achilles, and to execute that Cthulhu, if he does get into threshold in that ult. So I don't know. I think Frostbite's got the team to kind of really contend against the heavy hitters coming out from WSG. So
All right,
without further ado, I guess we'll see who's right, right? WSG versus Frostbite, game 1, coming at you in a minute.
Mhm.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna hop right into game 1 here of WSG versus Frostbite, and pretty standard, builds kind of across the board here. We see the Morgan and the Raw kind of both going into that tier 1 lost artifact. I'm guessing they're going to be hopping into that kind of do more build, which we've been seeing, a lot of recently, with the do more changes being as strong as it is, We see the dual lanes both coming into their respective lanes now. And then there we start to see kind of Rama just having, that clear that he does, with those astral arrows, so the pressure goes the way of, the Ram and the Sobek over there on Frostbite.
Unfortunately, Frostbite doesn't hit level 2 here.
Yeah, they must have. Oh, no, it just hit level 2 off of that minion now, so.
I wonder what happened where they like lost, because I was expecting a plug right as soon as they hit level 2 after they cleared the wave.
Yeah. Usually just one of those front minions gets lost in the transition here. They baited here and got the red buff, but it might be at the cost of Echo's life on the Morgan, but they managed to get her out. Yeah, Odin finally drops the chase there, but yeah, that was the beads came out on the Morgan as well, I believe, and it was good that they got the red, so and they managed to get out fairly unpunished with the exception of the beads.
Yeah, they saw that they had early pressure and went immediately for the red. It's gonna give that Morgan that extra bit of farm that she needs, and putting Rob a bit behind here.
Yeah. Achilles taking a lot of poke over in that solo lane during these engagements. It's just kind of, Cthulhu being Cthulhu.
Somehow, since Sobek rotated out to try to defend red, they ended up losing some pressure here. It looks like they're going to go ahead and go for Oracle. Fortunately, I'm back is there to help them clear, because, I just like taking Oracles so like that early. It just takes so long.
Yeah. I mean, it does take a while to get the low levels, but it's still such a worthwhile thing to make sure you have control over.
It looks like they're just gonna go ahead and get their purples. Looks like Everything just going as planned. Combat's a little late to his speed. It looks like they're gonna. Cthulhu's forced to take his blue on his own. It's probably not be a bad thing. Probably give him a little bit ahead of the Achilles here, just by a smidge.
Yeah, and Achilles does kind of clear that wave and goes to try and get that totem. We see Sinful Sora on this Odin just kind of clearing those mid camps, and you know another strong point of contention, in this game.
Echo's looking to invade the red again, but looks like he decides against it and tries to go back to his lane. He's gonna lose more, most of his wave if he went and did it. He'll probably put himself in a bad spot.
Yeah, instead both teams just kind of drop off, get their own reds. And
Yeah, I
looks
would've
like
left this team
Cataclysmic
then.
Wood's looking to see what he can do over here, yeah, on this Unbots pick. Sobek's still level 4, Rom is out of mana. This could be dangerous territory for that Rom, and it is going to be Unbots picking up the first kill here, getting that first blood. Good rotation, and acknowledging, realizing that Rom didn't have anywhere else to go. Odin comes over to try and see if he can clean anything up, but it's not going to find anything. He stays over there though, the Odin, looking to hopefully try and get something off on a counter rotation to help out.
Looks like Morgan's right behind the Raw here.
Yeah.
But Raw ends up getting
good damage
a
on
lot
him.
of. He's gonna be forced to back here. One thing that I was hoping to see is them like continuously applying pressure to the red. WSG looks like.
Even if they don't go for it themselves, they're always like, they move towards it. And, can we get this? It seems like they're at least trying in that direction for everything.
I also like how Mr. Cataclysmic, sorry, for some reason I couldn't read that for a second, was like checking their bags after he had that gank just to see if he can get more out of it after getting the Rama out. It's actually really nice. So usually people just get the gank and it's like, okay, like let's just go back to what we were doing. That's who he was applying like pressure.
On this Ganesh was looking at trying just kind of bugged him a little bit, the blue buff, and just see if they could maybe get something while they were sleeping, but nothing really comes of it.
Yeah. I really feel like you should really be defending mid here, because if like ends up getting a flag, it really felt bad news. Looks like she's gonna go ahead and engage with stun. Unfortunately, the one from Wheezing doesn't connect.
No real follow-up here to stop the Sobek. Iron Eagle picks up the first blood on this Cthulhu though. Interesting turn of events. Because Iron was kind of behind, during that early portion of the game, getting pressed out. I'm guessing he just secured it with his ult.
What's going on over there by Oracles here? Looks like the fight's about to break out. Looks like they ended up backing off here. Using Warriors kind of deep in there.
Big on bots ult comes out. Cataclysmic Wood, gigantic, manages to set up a couple kills here. Echo gets the kill on Sobek, as well as the Odin going down. And it looks like we're gonna get another kill here out on this Rama. Wow, just a really, really great engage coming off of that Ganesh 3 with that ult from the Hun bots. Great job by Cataclysmic Wood. I was looking to clear. He might have got himself in trouble doing it, but no, he's okay though. One of the things, raw heals are so strong.
Looks like Echo's gonna go ahead and try to go back to lane here, see what little farm he can go pick up. No, that was a pretty decent fight that like transcended over by Oracles. I want to see if this if she's gonna go back. Looks like she's gonna stay in for the wave and let Raw pick up the rest.
Meanwhile, this Jing Wei might have gotten herself in a little bit of trouble here. Ult's out though. Manages to get to her Ganesh. Get out the cost of her beads and her ult. So.
This is like poor Cataclysmic here. And no fight's about to break out here. Looks like Frost is just
Frost
taking
comes
that.
down and picks up that kill. The Odin ult comes down. You see the basketball covers the move into the field. Nothing else really happens here. I mean, Zora's able to kind of walk away from that one. So. Ooh, Fury does drop into the threshold here, but I don't think Iron Eagle's willing to dive. Or the tower. I mean, that hard to try and get it. Which I think is a good decision on his part.
I want to see if he's gonna check the blue here. Looks like he's just trying to bait him out.
Yeah. Although I don't think he realizes he's getting collapsed on pretty hard here right now. Comes out of the wall, the Cthulhu ult pulls up. Morgan turns into the Hun bots to pick up that kill, and he does so, and that's a good pickup on the Iron Eagle. I mean, who had been kind of picking up steam against their Cthulhu. Odin tries to try and make something happen as well, but it seems the team fight's kind of dispersed enough by this point. Ganesh is again deep in the jungle. Like Wheezing Warrior ends up very deep in that jungle over on the right side, and then, I mean, he hasn't really gotten in trouble for it yet. But I mean, I'd be surprised if if that happens many more times without any kind of consequence.
I'd like to see him apply more pressure into mid here because
They're big grouping up in mid, and it's been that way for a little while, and it seems like WSG just hasn't really put a lot of emphasis into helping to make sure this Morgan kind of stays, out of trouble.
Looks like she's holding her own here just by being alone and just farming up. It's kind of that might end up hurting Frost in the long run here if they keep grouping up and nothing's happening in mid. But I would like to just kind of try to force something out. Pretty even so far, as WSG has almost like a K.5 lead here. They're 3 kills above Frostbite currently. I feel like they're following each other better than Frostbite are. You know what I mean? They're kind of just following up together, and like they're always grouped up, and just noticing that like early on, especially from the rotation into like solo. Was like one big thing. Looks like Ganesh is gonna go over here, try to see if he can make something happen, but looks like Rama just preemptively like rolls away and just goes, we'll do something else. Looks like they're gonna go ahead and invade the red here. I'm excited to see it.
Try to at least. It seems like they might be able to get pushed off by this.
They need more people there. They're gonna want to contest this.
Yeah. I don't think they realize that that Jing Wei still isn't in this team fight. Now 4v3. Good ult comes out from the Ganesh. Great ult again by a Hun bots, managing to help pick up this kill. Morgan goes down. Or Morgan picks up the kill. Sorry, on Frost. Fight continues. Another kill goes away of Morgan, another kill goes away of the Hun bots. Like just really great ult placements coming out from the Ganesh and the Hun bots combo. In most of these little engagements that have been happening on the left side of the map.
Looks like there's gonna be a free kill for them here. There's nothing to do about it. And the gold leaf defense for WSG.
The ult comes out from over here. And it might be enough. I mean, that's kind of like a race against time. Can Cthulhu get the damage off before Achilles gets him in a threshold? And it looks like he does. And yes, he does. Fury 21-12 picks up kill on Iron Eagle. 20. And Sobek manages to get the kill on Echo in the mid lane here. Kind of, stemming the bleeding a bit, from that last engagement.
Looks like Godin's gonna try to see if he can get a big ult. Oh, he's on cooldowns right now. See if we can make anything happen over here in dual lane. Looks like he is. He's trying to take that purple. Looks like he manages to take
He
it.
does
He's trying to see if he
take
can
the
leave.
purple. Yeah. Manages to play dodgeball with Ganesh and hits him in the face for that stun.
You can go ahead and secure oracles here. Try to see if they can like lessen the lead that they have lost from losing gold here. They're already like 4K down.
Yeah.
We really need hopefully the solo lane tower doesn't go down, because that'll just create like a lot of mobility for a Fury to just kind of go into mid lane and just create more havoc than they really want. How much is going on straight out the cross?
Picked up the kill on this Raw. Really good kill there. Yeah, the Raw speeds were down for just a couple seconds. Good Ganesh roll coming out too to make sure he kind of makes sure that the Hun boss gets out. However, the rotation came in from Rom from the bottom side of mid here. Ooh, Hun boss manages to get over the wall, but Preserved Roses picks it up with a Rom ult. Nice job. The ult comes out here as well. Morgan picks up a double kill by ulting into the Hun boss and cleaning up. I mean, there's just some really solid teamwork and, you know, kind of coordination going on with this WSG team, you know, during these team fights.
Yeah, I think that, like, they should be ulting together as a group, because it's always the Hun battle with the Ganesh ult, right? And it's creating a lot of space, and then if anybody's caught in there, they're just taking damage from the Dharmic pillars. It looks like they're looking to get a fight here, but instead they're gonna pick up a kill, which is actually pretty good. They picked up Sinful. Unfortunately, he ends up dying there. I mean, he was alone.
Yeah. Raw looks like he's coming over to try and secure it, but I mean, he's on the word. They kind of know it's there. You know. So they do manage to just kind of cut it around and pick up the Pyromancer as well. I mean, that's a pretty solid swing coming out of WSG.
Really interesting team fights that are, you know, like this is something that we were talking about early on in the, you know, during the draft, was what's easy to execute, but these guys are seeming to work together better than Frostbite at the moment. So they seem to be moving together as a group more efficiently as well. The only thing I don't enjoy seeing is how, you know, I would like to see more fights in mid with the Ganesh and the Hun, like, because the Ganesh seems to be putting a lot of his time onto the carry right now.
Yeah, as if on clockwork.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why is that, when they could get a little bit more done in mid and kind of continue pushing that maybe invading red or invading backs together.
Yeah.
Your future looks bleak.
Echo here just getting, see, like I said, they're getting back now. They're gonna see if they can pick up the core Rama here. Yeah, she was on the wrong side of town there.
Yeah, I think he thought that they were going to keep pushing over right, so he was trying to kind of make that rotation to get into the mid lane. They just turned around right at him. As they were walking through, he didn't realize that they turned directions.
Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and take T1. Oh boy, here.
And this primal is going to be coming up really soon here. And looks like they'll probably get that as well. This would be my thought. Tons of damage goes out into this Odin here. The Morgan is just pretty unruly. You know, to deal with.
Yeah, pick up gold, WSG. Looks like they're not gonna get infested here by anybody. Seeing that they had taken down both towers. Oh no. Looks like Ganesh is gonna go ahead and try to pick out Chris here.
Morgan again turns into that Humbots ult, takes out the Odin who was trying to come in to help him the Sobek get out, but yeah.
One thing that I like seeing was that quick switch of target calls. First they were aiming for, I believe it was the Ganesh, right? No, my bad.
The
The
Sobek.
Sobek.
Gotcha.
And then immediately once Sobek was out, they ended up collapsing on Sinful Sora in within a quick stitch of time, noticing that he was a easier target to get once Sobek had released. Usually teams start chasing over these kills and they end up losing a lot of time and end up like stopping their own lead, you know, instead of redirecting their focus.
Yeah, very true. You know what I mean? I think they did a great job of it there.
That's just something that I noticed. I was like, oh wow, that was like a quick switch. It wasn't like a let's teeter around for a bit, like oh he got away. It was just a really quick switch. Looks like over here mid, they're just kind of relinquishing pressure. Frostbite. Gekko's gonna go ahead and go back to base, so will Wheezing Warrior. And I'm sorry, I can't imagine, but like a little Wheezing Warrior in the middle of a.
He's got asthma,
Hear
man.
me.
You know, leave him alone. We do see some grouping up here now around that fire giant. Some ward. Cataclysmic might get in trouble for that ward. Ooh, he just dodges the roll, but Ocean's still hot on his trail. Catches him inside, but the manages to get out because of the monkeys. That's 3. Jing Wei comes out. She's low. Fury comes in, picks up Preserve Roses on the back end, drops into his ult. The chase is on. A lot of damage continuing to come out here. Sobek's gonna fall. Odin's gonna fall. We might have a full team wipe here. The Ankh drops to make sure. And Achilles does not get by either. It is a full team wipe coming out from WSG. I mean, if you remember, I said, you know, I said it's gonna kind of come down to how well they're using the Morgan ults and the Cthulhu ults, and it seems like they're using them quite well up to this point. I mean, the Hun bots ult has been coming out from not only the Hun bots and the Morgan are just all really well timed. You know, and this will cause so much kind of just disruption in this backline. You know, it's really hard to manage.
Yeah, it's extremely chaotic. That's why I was actually extremely surprised that they allowed the Cthulhu through, you know? And then not to mention you have the Morgan on top of the Hunbat. So it's like it's so chaotic. And can you imagine just being on like on the other side of the team, just kind of having to deal with all that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Granted they did get their raw, but you know, there's been not much payoff with Frostbite. I'm not sure it's because they're not taking any fights. I feel like Odin hasn't been starting these fights. Like they almost turned the fight over there by fire, right? Until the Cthulhu came in and started. It was like a mistimed ult with the stun, and you know Odin continued chasing versus saying, "Hey, this was over. We should have just dropped it," and then maybe resetting or just kind of. You know, just kind of like slipping at the situation instead of just going in so hard. Because it was a good pick. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good stun, but the raw ult was just a smidge off, and then they could have gotten that pick. But since they didn't, they should have just kind of like hit the brakes a bit. Like, okay, you know. Looks like comeback is going on top of our Odin here.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming out again on that one. The Rod does kind of then, you know, sneak in here, you know, to kind of create some space, but it looks like he's gonna pay for it. The beads come out. Morgan once again turns it into this Hun bots and manages to pick up a double kill off of this. We have a 14-1 Morgan kind of running around the map. I mean, it's gonna be really tough. You know, for your team fights moving forward, you know. The T2 does look like it's gonna go down and left. Yeah. Morgan looks like she's gonna try and push out maybe right, or no, just a reset.
I feel like at this point, the team Frostbite should really be having a discussion about like what's going wrong here, or what's happening. There was a lot of third parties that could have spoken mid, but decided not to. Particularly with the Ganesh constantly going towards dual lane. Yeah. I feel like they could have applied a little bit more pressure into mid or into solo even. Try to keep the Cthulhu shut down. Just see how different the game would have been switched around. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I mean, that's probably one of my, I think one of the biggest adjustments that I would want to make. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Frostbite. Next game, and in future sets, is if we're gonna have three people floating around in mid, we have to be trying to go for kills and trying to pressure buffs and
Hmm.
I mean, if we're gonna exhaust the manpower into those lanes and just kind of hang out there and soak up the wave, what I mean. I mean, we're not really doing anything,
Yeah,
especially with a
no, well,
Sobek. What I mean. I mean, one pluck from the Sobek onto that Morgan, I mean, into a raw Odin, I mean, it's that's game, that's a wrap for that Morgan. I feel like they should have been really looking to do that, the whole early portion of this game.
yeah, unfortunately, she has to like do more of online and boots, so like she's gonna be this episode's gonna be a little bit outpaced. And if she was playing it safe, which she looked like she was for most of the game, it was hard to like maybe apply pressure in different parts of the map when your options are suspended and like doing just pressuring butts. Looks like they're gonna try to go for Fire Giant here.
Yeah, fire. Here, Cthulhu ults to try and get the Morgan, who's in a little bit of trouble, kind of just, let her create some space. And can he, it's up to the Cthulhu whether he can hold on for the rest of the team to get here. It looks like he can. Another big ult comes out of this Unboss to really kind of disrupt this backline. And he picks up a kill on the Raw. It picks up another kill on the Sobek. And I mean, again, it's, it's just using all of their resources really, really well. And I mean, another kill coming up with a triple for this Hun bots, and 3 for free going down to look at this right lane as well. The mid Phoenix is actually almost gone here now, and Ramen just kind of has to back away. So they're gonna take this mid Phoenix for free as well. And I mean, this might actually be it. It looks like they might rush in to try and end this game. Frostbite only has the Odin and Rom. It's going to be really, really hard to defend here. And there's no ults on either of them. I mean, level 20 for all their carries coming out of WSG, and it looks like that's probably going to do it. And yep, it will. That's going to be game one. WSG with a pretty dominant performance, I would say, overall.
Yeah, they definitely did. Mid played it safe until she was online, and Echo like just wreaked havoc onto the team. The Humbats and the Ganesh played really well together. They again like ults on top of their ults. It's like sometimes just like, I remember this when I was in the little league back in season 2. Oh, like press 4 to win the game, right? And it really was that
Yep,
they
yep.
just pressed 4 together, and it was just
Yep.
simple, right? It's just Ganesh ult on top of the Hum Battle. What can you do, right? And
Yeah,
then
yeah, very true.
um that like it's they did it together, and I think there's like a lot of more team synergy with each other versus like I felt like Frostbite felt a little bit more uncomfortable with each other, like
Yeah,
like
yeah,
again
yeah.
there's like jet like little sparks, like oh that could have been good, but it's you're already like I don't know how many k down, you're like 3 levels behind, and like ah you know what I mean. It's like oh that could have been great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I hope they don't let this Cthulhu through again. It's just if it wasn't already like from a dominant like matchup from mid jungle and like support, don't let Cthulhu don't like I just let's just say like you know
Yeah,
let's
yeah, yeah, I mean, it was just they just gave them a lot, way too much, kind of just just space control and disruption, in this back line, and I think removing the Cthulhu is a good option. I think splitting up the Hun bots and Morgan, whether you look to take the Hun bots the next game and maybe ban out the Morgan, or just something where you're not giving them that many big team fight ults. Ganesh, the Cthulhu. It was just so much for them to kind of handle in these team fights, and they'd get past, the first big team fight ult or two, and then there's two more waiting behind them. You know what I mean? It's
mhm.
just a lot, So I mean, I think they just need to do that, and you know what I mean, and really like just look to be aggressive when they have the numbers. You know what I mean? We saw it in the mid lane. You know what I mean? We just really need them to just when you have the bodies there, look to make something happen.
Yeah, of course, instead of but don't do be stupid. But like I get it. Like that's what I was trying to say. Like Ganesha was always over in duo lane, and like they had 3 people in mid. It was probably might have hurt the Raw more if they couldn't just apply pressure in other areas. But well, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and
Yeah,
is
we're
it a
gonna
5 minute
take
break
a
here?
yep, we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back to you with the picks and bans for game 2.
All right, see you guys in a bit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So, unfortunate news. The game 2 of the set is uncastable. The video for it on Smite is kind of broken right now. So WSG did go on to win that second game. So they took a 2-0 sweep over Frostbite.